Tarot, or my first live. And if you don't know my name's Michelle. And tonight we have the new moon in Leo, as well as we have the solar eclipse that is also in Leo. And Leo's energy is about heart and courage and creativity and allowing yourself to be seen. And the new moon is about new beginnings. And with it being in Leo, Leo is, it's having the courage to step outside of your comfort zone. And that's what I'm doing here tonight. And that's why I thought my first live, I'm going to do this. So that's basically what I'm doing. My first live here on Magic Hearts Tarot. I'm just checking to see if anybody's here because I didn't want to start without anybody being here, but that's all right. Never did this before. Okay. So we're going to check the energy first. We see what we need to know for this new moon in Leo and this solar eclipse that's also happening in Leo. I actually went outside today with the glasses and took a look. So I was able to see it where I am here in New York. We have the world. So we're ending cycles, beginning a new one. We're releasing out anxiety. You know how I was saying at the beginning about stepping outside of our comfort zone? That's what we're doing. We're stepping outside of our comfort zone. We're doing things that we've never done before. We'll be doing something that we've always wanted to do. We have Healer of the Ages. There's some healing energy coming in. You could be a healer. We also have Journey. There's that new beginning energy. We have 2. Woman holding a coin. And then we have Angel of Balance. And it came out in the reverse position. And so what that's saying is that, like I was saying before about the healing, there's a need for healing, could be going on a healing energy that's helping you to release out some anxiety that you have, starting that new chapter. You see at the bottom of the deck, we have all tied up. And that there is that representation of the anxiety that I was feeling. Okay, so let's get some tarot here to clarify. Let's see what we get. I see we have the 9 of Wands in the reverse position. And you see the 9 of Wands is, you know, it's kind of like you just about had it. You know, you're, because at the 10 of Wands is about putting down that burden. So when you hit the 9 of Wands, it's like, yeah, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. And so with the 9 of Wands in the reverse position, it's like, that's where that new beginning comes in. That's where you're closing out that chapter. It's like, I've had enough. Something has to change. I need to do something differently. So we're really, that's why this new moon in Leo, oh, excuse me, I hit the phone, as well as the solar eclipse happening in Leo. And then we have that south node in Leo, a lot of Leo energy, a lot of, it's, like I said before, it's about courage and it's about strength and it's about doing things differently. And that's why I'm here right now, because I've never done a live on YouTube. I don't even go on camera. That's how nervous of a person that I am. And there we have Judgment, changing things up, taking accountability, doing things differently. And we have the Devil in the reverse position, which is about releasing out, you know, like, let's just say limited beliefs. Then we have the Hierophant at the bottom of the deck, which is, you know, like we're learning a new belief system, it could be, or it's just that you're, again, because I'll go back to that World card because which was the first card out. It's that new cycle. It's the new chapter. It's ending a way of being. You know what I mean? It's like we've had enough. And here before I even begin to shuffle, we have breaking point, limit, final straw, overwhelmed. Like I was saying when I saw that Nine of Wands in the reverse position. It's like you've had enough. It's like enough's enough. It's like I don't want to live like this anymore, basically. You know? Like that anxiety. It's like that, you know, like it's always that fear of when the, you know, like waiting for the other shoe to drop. It's like, so it's like it's good, and then you're sitting here going, okay, so when is the next, you know, I don't know what I can say on YouTube, and I almost said the S word, so I'll say crap. When's the, you know, like when's the next gonna hit the fan, right? That's basically it. And you're tired of living like that. Okay, so let's get, like I said, you're tired of living like that. Exhausted. You're friggin' exhausted. You're depleted. Your energy. It's been a long journey. It's been a long haul. We had journey over here too. It's like enough's enough. Enough's enough. And this Leo energy is really helping us. Because, you know, even if, put it to you this way, even though enough's enough, you know, part of us stay because it's comfortable, because we don't know any different, even if we're uncomfortable, even if we're, you know, like, especially because I'm somebody who I do have anxiety. So it's like you still stay because you're afraid of the unknown. It's like what's outside of what I've been doing is that feeling that I'm getting. And you've come to the point of the other side of that, which is, I don't care. I'm done. I can't take. That like I should be doing this because that's not, you know, like how you were raised, or not, you know, like how you were raised or what you were told when you were a kid, basically. You know, because that also happens. You know, it's kind of like, you know, you sit here and you're like, you want to do something, but like I said, the fear of the unknown or the fear of change, it stops us. It really does, especially when we don't know what the other side holds. And we have running, ghosting, disappearing, invisible. You know, it could be, what are you running from, or what do you want to run towards? You know? because it's like, are you running from yourself? Are you running from some truth, some clarity that you recently received, as far as like, this truth about a situation, and you're finally seeing it, and that's where that final straw, that enough's enough happened? Could be, like, we have soulmates, deep love, unity, and connection. So there's a clarity about a person. Like I said, a situation, a person, somebody ghosted you. And you're just exhausted as far as like the not knowing. That's possible. There's a lot of different ways that you can interpret that. Because we have fantasy, daydreaming, imagining, fantasize. So there's a person in your energy here that, like you found out something, or you're realizing something. Have you been running from a relationship? Because the thing is that when we ourselves don't know like what's going to happen or what's on the other side of something, or you're kind of like, you don't know how a situation is going to unfold. Sometimes we kind of like turn a blind eye to it. Yeah, say we, like I was saying, turn a blind eye, withdraw from the situation. It says single, lonely, solitaire, kind of like doing our own thing. That new beginning that I was talking about. It could be that you're doing your own thing. You're wanting to change something up here. Can't help but, this is at the bottom of the deck, we have boundaries. And it says, no, drawing the line, enough. Like I was talking about at the beginning of the reading when I was saying enough's enough. It's like this opportunity here, this new beginning. You want to change your life. You want to take charge of a situation. You want to do things differently. Okay, let's use this deck here. See what else we need to know. We have the King of Pentacles, which is, the King of Pentacles is somebody that's very grounded. And we had that card of anxiety in the reverse position. So it's kind of like you're wanting to become more grounded. It could be that you're working on your root chakra. It could be that you're looking for some stability in your life and you're not necessarily knowing where you're going to get that. Let's see what else we get. Yeah, say judgment, awakening, evaluation. You're reevaluating your life right now. And it could be that this person here, this situation where you found out something, it's made you rethink what's been happening, what's been going on. Yeah, say We have the Seven of Swords. It, as far as somebody has been lying, there's, or what I was talking about before about finding out something. See, it's not necessarily that somebody's been lying, but things are starting to come clear as far as seeing the truth. It could be that you were lying to yourself, because it's like life's handed you a lot of situations. And another scenario here is that you're the one that's running from your soulmate because you can't possibly believe that something is happening, as far as a love relationship, a connection, because you have had such a bad deal as far as, life in general. Because I was picking up on, like waiting for that other shoe to drop. It's basically like you can't believe that you could be happy for so long because, it's like so many things have happened that it's like, when is this gonna like stop, or when is this gonna change kind of feeling. We have the Page of Cups. There's definitely somebody going to be reaching out. Yeah, say there's been a painful ending. Somebody is going to be reaching out to you. We have the Ace of Cups offering, an apology, offering their cup of love, wanting to start again, second chance. That could be that new beginning that I was picking up on at the beginning. There's that new beginning. And like this person could have been running from you for a while there, and now they're coming back and they're apologizing and they're saying, hey, you want to try again. And look at this at the bottom of the deck. On the second tarot deck, we have the Hierophant again. So this is about a relationship. This is a relationship energy that we're picking up on, this new beginning. So I want to get some messages regarding that. Let's see. Ooh, something flipped. And we have Twin Flame 424. 424 is the message of love, of hope, love, and encouragement. Now is the time to make the first move. If in union, then it's encouraging you to take the next step. You know how he's talking about somebody coming back and offering a new beginning of, with a person, a second chance, like they're apologizing because this situation ended very painfully. And with the Page of Cups, that's a card of apology. And this is, card is saying that this person needs to basically make the first move. This is encouraging them to make the first move. And that they're needing to, apologize for what happened as far as this Ten of Swords energy here. Okay, so let's see what else we got. Got two here. So if you have a question right now in your mind, the answer to that is no. And we have raising spiritual awareness. You and them, this is a soul contract. Spiritual awareness, it's basically saying this twin flame soulmate, however you want to, put, your label or, whatever you do on your relationship. You know what I'm trying to say here. This is a soul contract. This is something between you and another person. See, and like I was saying, it says here, it says, I'm starting to become enlightened. Spiritual awareness. They're realizing what the connection is between you and them. And this is part of them coming back because they did leave. It was painful the way that it ended. They did leave, and them coming back and apologizing and saying, I understand this connection. Like you could have, like triggered something in this person, which is what you were supposed to do as a twin flame. You triggered something within them and they didn't expect it, let's just say, and that's what caused this painful ending. And they're coming back with an apology saying, I'm sorry, I didn't understand. They're sorry that they hurt you. Maybe they weren't honest with their intentions. That's quite possible too. Twin soul is awakening, and there's that's confirmation of being enlightened. This person is becoming enlightened. This person is waking up to your connection. And they're realizing what exactly it is to be a twin flame. Sometimes you could talk about as far as being a twin flame as a very strong soulmate, soul connection. Because a twin flame is not necessarily an old term as far as like a soulmate. It's kind of like it's new age. So therefore, not everybody knows what a twin flame is. So they could be actually calling that. And we have I love you. See what else we got. And we have twin flame with the triple fours. At least one twin is on the correct journey to spiritual enlightenment. It may represent the responsibility and practicality of a soul contract. One is working to turn dreams and goals into reality. So there's that, when I was saying this person is starting to wake up, this person is starting to get enlightened. And the feeling that I was getting was that you are someone, who is already on that spiritual path, and that this person here is starting to understand. And at the beginning of the reading, I was talking about, this energy of this new beginning, this fresh start, like changing things, having, having enough with things not working out, like trying to, start your life over, like releasing out the past. And what's happening is that this connection between you and your person is really starting to show you what exactly, you want. Like they've woke you up, like you want more out of life. You want to do things differently too. And then you did that for your person. You see, that's what the relationship really is. It's about waking each other up. Okay, so let's get some more messages here. See what else we need to know. We have ascending. I was talking about enlightenment here. We have ascending. We have firm with wide awake, clean, and defensive. It's like holding like a firm, because I was feeling that before with boundaries. We have single. Yeah, say you've really isolated yourself as far as with, you know, the world and not wanting to go out and, you know, like do something. Like you're really, there's a need to step outside your comfort zone. Like I was saying before, there's a need to, you know, like really, because we have mirror, like look at yourself and look at the situation, look at things differently, see the truth, get the clarity. Because there is this connection here, and this connection between you and another person has really woken you up, and it's helped you to see things differently, be it about yourself, be it about just life in general, but it's really enlightened you and changed you as far as how you feel and think about situations and people. Okay. Let's see what else we're gonna do. Get some more energy here. Okay. See what else we get. And we have foresight. Plan one thing for next month. So there's something that, like plan ahead, foresight, look to the future. So there's something that you're wanting to do. Plan one thing for 1 month, for one, like the next month. So you're basically being, you know, like if there's something that you want to do, it could be that it's going to take you a month to do it, or it could be that you're set a goal for a month. Let's see. We have revel. Find joy in a mundane task. You know how I was saying about setting a goal, setting something that you're going to do like every day. Could be, you know, like going for a walk or, you know, meditating, journaling. I love the journal. Something that it's basically, because I'll go back to at the beginning when we were talking about anxiety and stepping outside your comfort zone. This stepping outside of your comfort zone, whatever this one thing is, it's like if you're gonna change a habit, don't take on 50 million things at once. Take on one thing at a time. And it could be as much as one thing that you do daily that you do differently. You know, if you're wanting to, you know, break a habit or pick up a good habit, focus on one thing at a time. You know, because I know, like, for myself personally, probably 22 years ago now, I quit smoking cold turkey. Just stopped. One day I said, I'm done. But the thing is that when you, as a smoker, my habits were connected to my smoking. So I had to change other habits. I had to do something different to break that bad habit. You know, so if you're looking to change, you have to change a habit, you know, or create a new habit, then that's what you're doing. You're going to take one thing at a time. Me, myself, I was at work, so I used to take my cigarette breaks, and I had to say to my friends, you're going to have to give me a minute while I break this habit. So it took, I don't know, about 10 weeks for me to not go on breaks and smoke. Sure, go ahead. You can ask me a question. Go ahead. Samantha. Go ahead, Samantha. What was your question? I'm going to pull another card. It says, fan out your brilliance. Let your voice be heard. So there's something here that needs to be said, you know, because like I was just talking about how I quit smoking, you know what I mean? Like there's something that we've all done in our life, you know, that can help somebody else. So, you know, like speak up, say something, do something, you know how they say, whatever that saying is, see something, say something. I think that's what it is. But like, if you're, you know, like talk about it, right? Okay, what else we got? We have charm. Appreciate one time. Wait a minute, let me start that again. Appreciate one tiny good thing. Now we were talking about find joy in a mundane task. Appreciate the joy in like one thing. Again, if you're changing something up, appreciate. It's kind of like having gratitude, right? Because there's something like I was saying before about saying something, seeing something, because that's what popped into my head. There's something that you're wanting to say, something that you're wanting to do. We have flow. Ride the wave. Go with the flow today. You know? Kind of like just allowing things to unfold and do what they got to do. Okay. Oh my God, where's my other deck? Where is my other deck? Oh, here it is. Okay. See what else we need to know. We have the Fool. There's that new beginning. Taking a leap of faith, doing something differently, stepping outside of our comfort zone. Keep going, right? Just keep going. And we have the Five of Swords. You know, the thing is, it says with the Five of Swords, it's like winning at all costs, doing what you got to do, right? Taking that leap of faith, just pushing forward, you know, like not taking any crap, just doing what you got to do. You know, yes, a new beginning is difficult. Things are difficult. Things happen in our life that we don't expect to happen. But we just got to keep going. We just got to keep breathing. Just got to keep doing what we got to do, right? We have the Empress taking care of you. We got the Moon in the reverse. This came up earlier when we were talking about secrets and lies and things hidden. There's something that is being illuminated. We're right now tonight, we have the new moon in Leo. So it's like during this moon cycle, there's something that's being shown to you. Okay, let's see what else we get. Moving on to needed change. And there's Leo energy right there with strength. There's this new beginning that you're, going up against, this new beginning, this fresh start, this change in your life. This is a much needed change. This is something, yes, it's going to be difficult. Yes, you're stepping outside of your comfort zone, but this new beginning is something that you yourself, you need to do, and you need to do it for you. You need to stop worrying about what other people are doing and stop people pleasing, and you need to focus more on yourself. And there's something being shown to you as far as this moon cycle that's going to then help you to step out of your comfort zone, to do something differently, to do something that, like instead of worrying about other people, you taking care of you is something that you might not necessarily always do or put yourself first. Some people, especially, like you worry about your family, you worry about your kids, you worry about your significant other, like whatever, and you don't put yourself first. And this here that's what this energy is that we're looking at. It's putting yourself first. It's you saying, I need to focus on me right now. Yeah, we have the Eight of Pentacles in the reverse position. Problematic and perfectionism. Sometimes we do. Like if you want to begin something new, you want to try something different, you want to go at something different, and we think to ourselves, okay, I want to do this, but... and then we wait, and that's where we have that Five of Swords in the reverse come up. When I was saying winning at all costs, sometimes you just have to push through. Sometimes you have to, sometimes there's not a perfect opportunity or the perfect time to start something new, the perfect time to step outside of your comfort zone. Perfect isn't a thing. Perfect doesn't happen. And that's basically what you have to release out that belief that you have to wait for the perfect time. The perfect time is now, for anybody. Perfect time is now to change your life, to change a situation, to start something new. Never wait for what you believe is, quote unquote, the perfect time, because the perfect time is always now to change. We have the Nine of Swords. And this was the energy that I was picking up on earlier, that anxiety. Sometimes, like the fear of the unknown is what stops us when we don't want to, like we want to begin again, but we don't want to step outside our comfort zone. Okay, let's see what else we get. We have the Three of Pentacles, building foundation. The Three of Pentacles is about, traditionally when you see the Rider-Waite, the Three of Pentacles is, they're building a church is what they're actually building in that card. And it's about building with spirit. It's about co-creating. It's about building your foundation. Think about, if you want to think about like the root chakra is your foundation in your body and that energy. So this new beginning here, pushing through some kind of belief system that you have to wait for the perfect time to do something, that's going to help you to build a better foundation in like your structure. And we had the Hierophant come out twice here. So that's a belief system. So it's like, what is your inner belief about you and who you are and what you can do? Look at that again. Like, why is it that you're telling yourself you can't start over or you can't try something again? Where is that coming from? Especially when it's you who actually wants to do it. And, people think, ego isn't necessarily a good thing sometimes. Ego comes from things or situations or even people, like what they've said. So then you have that stored in your subconscious mind, and because ego thinks it's going to try to protect you and be like, oh no, you can't do that. But the reason why ego is saying that is because ego doesn't want you to get hurt, So sometimes you have to say to ego, shut up, I'm going to do it anyway. You know what I mean? Because and Leo energy is about, you could say, egoic, because ego, you have to have, like courage to do something. And this energy here that we're in, Leo season and the new moon and the solar eclipse, all this Leo energy, this courageous energy, sometimes we need, and that's when ego becomes a good thing. Sometimes we need ego because ego gets us up in the morning, gets us out of bed to do what we got to do, right? Because like, hey, you got to get up. Like, that's ego talking to you. Because if we didn't have that, we wouldn't want to, face the day sometimes. You see? Three of Swords in the reverse position. And that's why I was talking about ego, because I was picking up on heartbreak. You're recovering from loss. You're recovering from heartbreak. It's like this energy of, I need a new beginning. I need a fresh start, but you're also sitting in pain and not knowing, how am I going to get to that point? And that's where, like when I was saying before about the Five of Swords, it's like pushing through that, pushing past that. Like sometimes you just got to get up. Sometimes you have to, like move towards something, or, like have a conversation, how like we have that conversation with ourselves and we say, hey, I got to do this. I have to change this. I have to start this. And yeah, it's going to be scary. And yes, I'm stepping outside of my comfort zone and it scares the crap out of me. But you still do it anyway. Because when you do it and you finish that, how I was talking about that task, like changing something, even if it's changing one thing at a time, once you do it and you change it and then you see the end result and it's magnificent and you're sitting there and you're like, yeah, I'm glad I did that. It is. It's life changing, especially when what's stopping us, our own fear, our own anxiety. Like we're our own worst critic when it comes to telling us ourselves that we can't do something, right? Because you're freaking yourself out because you're afraid of the unknown. And that's basically what's happened, right? Because we tell ourselves these stories about what, is going to happen, and really 9 times out of 10, that worst fear doesn't happen, Then we have the 10 of Wands in the reverse position. It says unaccepted responsibility. Sometimes we take on other people's problems, unaccepted. Like we're accepting somebody else's responsibility. We're doing things for other people that we shouldn't be doing, or we shouldn't, you could, you have grown children and you're still taking care of them when they should be out there doing their own thing, right? That's a responsibility that sometimes a parent doesn't necessarily have to take on, right? or, you know, somebody, again, you know, they're asking you to, you know, let them stay at your house rent free, right? That's not your responsibility to make sure they have a place to stay, right? Yes, you can help somebody, you can take care of somebody, sure. But if you're depleting your own energy by taking on something that doesn't belong to you, that's called people pleasing, right? And that's not good. That's not good for you. Okay, let's see what else we get. Whoops. We have the Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, see, the Queen of Pentacles is someone who is nurturing, someone who, like I was saying before, gives out a lot of money, you know, gives out a lot of her own personal abundance, takes care of people, takes care of her family, makes sure as everybody else is provided for, takes on responsibilities sometimes that aren't hers. You know, that's the energy at times of the Queen of Pentacles. And this is something that we as, you know, people, especially somebody who is because the Queen of Pentacles is also nurturing. So it's like if you're a nurturing soul and you want to make sure everybody's taken care of, you know, and you're providing for people and you're doing things, and then at the end of the day, you're thinking to myself, you know, like I said myself, see, I do it. I'm talking about myself too at times here. You know, you sit there and you think to yourself, well, what did I do for me today? I was busy worried about everybody else. What did you do for yourself today? You know, it's like that's the energy that we don't want to be in, taking on responsibilities that aren't ours. I mean, it could be anything. It could be, you know, like when you're at work and it's, you know, like everybody is teamwork and, you know, like everybody has a job, let's just say, because I'll go back to when I worked at McDonald's when I was a kid. And so like one person sweeps the floor, one person mops, you know, but then you find yourself, you're doing both because the other person says, oh, my back hurts today, you know, and it's like, it's their responsibility too. But then you know, you understand and you're empathetic and you do it for that person. That's, oh shit, sorry. That's another form of people pleasing. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to do that either. So you really, sometimes stepping outside of our comfort zone can be, as oddly enough, could be us taking care of ourselves, you know, worrying about ourselves more than we have ever, putting ourselves first. You know, and some people out there might find that, you know, like if, you know, if they themselves aren't doing it, they might find that as like odd. Like, what do you mean you don't take care of you don't put yourself first? You know, some people just naturally think of other people before they think of themselves, and they don't realize how much it depletes their energy. Yeah, see, just like I'm saying here, the Ace of Cups. You have to have your own cup filled before you can give to another person. Because if you're giving and giving, eventually, you know, the cup is empty and you're running on empty. You know that saying, I'm running on empty. You're running on empty and you're depleted, and then there's nothing to give to yourself either. So if you can't give to yourself, and then you're at a point where you're so depleted that you can't give to other people, and now you know, like you have kids to take care of, you know, like stuff like that, it's like, then you're not able to do what you truly want to do. So by taking time and energy to put back into yourself will ultimately help you to be able to do the things that you want to do, but also you're needing to know that you can't overextend your energy and take on responsibilities that aren't yours. That's that balance that, you know, how like we talk about with the Six of Pentacles, the equal give and take. That's really what that card is about. It's like there needs to be an equal energy in our life as far as the giving and the receiving, the equal, you know, that's what a relationship is. Any relationship. any relationship, the equal give and take of the relationship. You know, because if one person is giving too much and you're depleted, you know, I mean, you don't want that. Whoa, almost dropped them all. Okay, let's see what else we got. We have the Nine of Cups in the reverse position. Are you over-giving because somebody isn't keeping their promises? Because the card says empty promises. Because you know how like sometimes we give and give and give and hope that somebody gives the same in return. We've all done that at some point in our life. You know, like maybe if I do this and this, and then maybe they'll do what I'm hoping they'll do, and then they don't. You know, because you can't change a person by giving too much to a situation and hope that eventually they give back to you, because a lot of people will take advantage of that as well. You know, if they see you as a giving soul, right? You're a giving soul and you're giving and giving, and then you know, like I said, they take advantage of that basically is what people do. They take advantage of that. And then when you stop giving is when they question, like, where is or why didn't you? But they're not saying, oh, maybe it's because I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do. You know what I mean? Like, it's rare if somebody has that kind of wake-up call. Okay, let's see what else we get. We have the Page of Wands in the reverse position. There's something that you're holding back. It's like, because how they're planning, but we have it in the reverse position. So this is holding back on your action. You're holding back on a plan. So there's something that you're wanting to do, but you're not necessarily doing it. So you have to think to yourself, what is something that you've been contemplating? What is something that you've been wanting to do, but you haven't necessarily done it yet? You have to think about that too. You know, is it that you're so busy worrying about what other people are doing, you know, and what they need, that there's something in the back of your mind that you've always wanted to do? And then by you taking, you know, a step back and saying, okay, maybe I do take on things that aren't mine, you know, like responsibilities, you know, that other people, you know, they need to take care of themselves, you know, like whatever the situation is. And by you freeing up yourself and focusing more on whatever this action, it's like this plan, something that you've been wanting to do, you have more energy for yourself. You'll have more energy for you to be able to do what it is that you've been hoping to do. And it could be something that you've been putting off for years. And then now you'll be able to do it. Yeah, see, that's Temperance in the reverse position. That's just what I was talking about a few minutes ago. It says reckless imbalance. There's an imbalance within. This is where you're giving out too much. You need to focus more, fill your own personal cup and not other people's. That energy is really, that's really like, because at the beginning when I was talking about stepping outside of our comfort zone. And that's what I'm doing tonight. It's my first live here on my channel. Stepping outside of my comfort zone. And with doing that, it's scary to do something like that. And stepping outside of your comfort zone and focusing more on yourself. Or it could be that you want to, you know, that could be what this plan is here. You could have a plan yourself as far as, you know, like something that you've always wanted to do, and it's putting yourself out there by you stepping outside of your comfort zone. You know, and by you I get the feeling that there's a lot of responsibilities that you've taken on that aren't necessarily yours. And by you, you know, pushing back, I'll call it, setting better boundaries and saying to people, hey, you know, I need more time for myself. I need more time to focus on myself. You know what I mean? And that's what's going to help you to be able to stop putting off what it is that you want to do, because procrastinating, you're making up, because I was talking about before as far as it's not the right time, it's not the perfect time. I need to do this, I need to do that. That is really what we're talking about, you know, because the thing is that there's never a perfect time. It's like you're making up excuses because part of you is afraid of the unknown. You know what I mean? Okay, let's see what else we get. Yes, see? We have the Page of Pentacles in the reverse position. Disconnected goals. You're not connected to your goals. There's something that you started out doing and that you've put off. There's things that you've been planning that you're putting off. You need to redirect your energy. You need to take a minute and look at something that you've been wanting to do. You know, it could be a career goal. It could be, you know, you want to change job. It could be that you just want to move somewhere, you know, go somewhere, travel, you know, anything. But there's something in your life that you've always wanted to do. It could be go back to school, you know, anything. But there's something that you've been putting off here, and you're not connected to your personal goals anymore. Your energy has been focusing in on other people, or you've been focusing your energy in places where it doesn't necessarily need to be. You know, it could be on a person. It could be on a situation. It's like redirecting your energy back. Because the thing is that when we put out our energy into something that, you know, isn't necessarily, you know, a good thing, I'll call it. Like overthinking. You know, like when you spend time thinking about something and thinking about something, like your energy goes into that. And then really it's like, now you've wasted how many hours thinking about something that really, can you solve it? No, you can't solve it. You can't change it. You know, there's a lot of things that we can't change. And if we just sit, and if we're sitting there and we're trying to fix it, you know, we're trying to think of an idea. How can I fix this? How can I change this? And sometimes we just have to accept that we can't. There's things in life that we can't change. And then if we, that's why it's like that feeling of focusing your energy in better places. You know, releasing out what no longer serves us and putting our energy back into things that do serve us. You know, and one of it is taking care of ourselves. Top priority, taking care of yourself. There's that Leo energy with the sun. Focusing on your own personal joy, right? Focusing in on your personal joy. What is it that you want to do? What is it? What was a goal in your life that, you know, or even this year, this month? Because I was talking before about, you know, like daily habits. Yeah, see? 9 of Pentacles is in the reverse position. Unfulfilled achievement. There is, without a doubt, something that you've always wanted to do. And in the back of your head, you've held on to that. And you've been thinking, I wish I had of. Well, it's not too late to do it. This is confirmation right here of that. It's not too late to start something or go back and try it again. You know, if there's something that you started and that it didn't quite, you know, pan out the way that you thought, the thing is that just because it didn't end the way that you want it doesn't mean you can't try again. You can go back and try again. You know, if you had a plan or an opportunity or something that you've always wanted to do, and then, you know, like for whatever reason, it didn't work out in the way that you want, you can go back and try again. Let's see what else we got. We have the King of Cups in the reverse position. You're getting upset with yourself because it says an uncontrolled emotion. You're getting upset with yourself because whatever this goal is, whatever this something was that you've always wanted to do, and then you've put it off and now you feel like it's too late. You're getting upset with yourself because of what happened. It's like almost like a life review. It's like you're looking back and saying, okay, why didn't I do this? Well, it's not too late to begin again. You know, like it's almost like you're holding yourself back by you like not allowing yourself to do something, and you don't have to hold yourself back. Because you could always, you know, begin again. You could always try again. And we have the Knight of Pentacles in the reverse position. Unbalanced action. Yeah, see, that was when I was talking about the energy as far as being out of whack. It's like internally your energy is imbalanced. Because it's like you're not giving enough to yourself. You're depleting your own energy. You're focusing in on things that, you know, you don't necessarily need to be focusing in on, or you're doing stuff that isn't like your responsibility, is what I was talking about before. And that's where it actually does do a number on us internally. Like we don't realize, you know, as far as you ever have one of those nights where you keep having these wild dreams, like you just keep dreaming a lot. That's your mind going through every like thing that has gone on throughout the day. So it's like if you got a lot going on, you can't even sleep at night because your brain is trying to process what just happened. Okay, what else we got? We have the Chariot. You're really needing to take control, because that's where the Chariot here is. It's like choosing a path. Which way do you want to go? Do you want to continue on the road that you're on? Or do you want to do something different? It's like this time, this energy that we're in right now is that, you know, like I was saying, this new moon in Leo and the solar eclipse in Leo, and we got Leo season. It's like really doing something courageously. It's really about like harnessing our own personal power and taking control of the wheel, you know, and not, you know, like why do you know, like I'm hearing, you know, like, why does this keep happening? That's, you know, that's the message that I'm getting here. It's like, why does this keep happening? Why don't things, you know, happen in the way that I hope for? Why can't I change my life? Like, what's going on here? And you're at a crossroads. You really are. You're really at a crossroads here. And it's like, it's time to choose a path. It's time to choose a pathway forward. Do you stay on this road or do you go the other way? Oop, I dropped a card. Let me just get that. And we have the Five of Pentacles. There has been a misfortune. There has been it's like you're guarding yourself. You're not wanting. The Five of Pentacles is about, as far as our self-worth, something happened to make you not believe in yourself anymore. There's been a situation that it's like now, I was talking about your goals and dreams and things that you've always wanted to do. And it's like the feeling that I'm getting here off this card, it's like you're looking back on life, needing to change the direction, and then saying to yourself, okay, how did I get here? How did I get at this crossroads? What changed in my life? And like, it's, how I was talking about like the life review. It's like you're reevaluating your life. You're reevaluating how you got here. You're reevaluating, like what made you go down that path? What was stopping you? How can you redirect your thoughts? How can you change the way you feel about, like yourself or a situation? Okay, I want to get an affirmation card here. Where's my affirmation deck? We'll get a couple affirmations to close out the reading here. Okay. We have communication. Healthy communication is meaningful in all relationships, and I realize that I must express to others how I desire to be communicated with. I manifest people that will expand my thinking and make me laugh and bring happiness into my life. So like I was saying before, with regards to, expressing, saying to yourself, hey, I have to, take care of me. Like you're communicating to other people that you can't take on things that aren't yours. That's a form of, like speaking up for yourself. Because I have this feeling that it's like that's where the change, it's like you've taken on so much that you forgot about your own goals and your own dreams and your own desires. Okay, let's get one more. Here we go. Oh, I got two. They're sticking. This deck is sticking. Here we go. This is my success. I defined my own success in life. Some people want money, others want happiness. My definition of success is what I intentionally choose. I will roll up my sleeves and ponder what success means to me and then work harder to reach these goals. And our last card here is playful. Most outgrow certain behaviors from childhood, but I give myself permission to cherish my curiosity and wonder. To find magic in the mundane is a spectacular power. The world is not all black and white, for there is color everywhere I look. So this is that, finding your own personal joy. Because nobody's saying that you can't, like help people or, take care of or, do stuff for somebody else. But it's when we deplete our energy that we have to hold a good boundary sometimes and be here like, hey, I can't do this, or I need to take some time for me, like whatever the case may be. It's like communicating your personal needs. And that's really what's going to help you with your own personal success. Because it's kind of like there has to be, like I was talking about before, this balance in our life. We have to have our own personal balance within. And that's really what helps us to continue on a daily basis. Because if we are depleting our own energy, if we're not giving back to ourselves, we're not actually able to do the things that we want to do for ourselves and for other people. And that's really what this, like I was talking throughout the reading, this stepping outside of our comfort zone. It could be just a matter of doing something for ourselves, that we don't usually do. If we are that person that likes to take care of people. Because sometimes, we do overdo, and we have to, like communicate, hold good boundaries, say to somebody, hey, I can't right now. You don't have to always, do everything for everybody all the time. You need breaks. And like I was saying before about you can't give from an empty cup. You have to fill your cup, which means you have to do things for you. You have to find your personal joy. You have to, do things that you love at times. And that's really what helps us, as far as to keep our energy positive and flowing. We have the vessel. My talents, skills, and hobbies, relationships, passions, and strength are the things that define me. My body is the vessel that contains these wonderful attributes. And to that, I am grateful. So taking care of our body, that's really what it means when people say to fill your own cup. It's like taking care of, like your personal energy, your health, your well-being, taking care of yourself. You're taking care of your vessel. And then we have money magnet. With the power of determination, I attract profitable opportunities, money, and I pull towards each other. Like clicking magnets, the universe acknowledges my dedication, and so the universe rewards me with fruitful bounty. With fruitful bounty. And it's like we're attracting in. Like energy does attract like. So if you're, dedicated in doing something, the universe will respond to that. It really does. When we put out good things, the universe brings it back. Because think about it this way. How like when we're happy, it's like even people that aren't necessarily happy, they automatically, like, it's almost like their energy changes. Like, an example, somebody says that you have an infectious laugh, which means that like you laugh and like other people laugh just because you're laughing, because it's yours. The sound of your laughter makes them happy or makes them laugh. Like that's attracting happiness, attracting joy. It's like what you're putting out brings it back. That's really what the law of attraction is. Because if you sit here and you think, something isn't going to happen, it's not going to happen. It's like you're believing it into existence. You're acting as if. Act as if something is here. Act as if a situation already exists. Because if you're, like, for example, manifesting a new relationship, act as if you're in a relationship with, whoever said person that you're, like manifesting, right? that energy, because now you're at a higher energy. Like your energy, you're not like, because if you're down low and you're not like happy, you know, like your lower vibration, that's where that is. It's like your vibration, like so you want to attract it in, right? That's what I'm trying to say. Like whatever you're wanting to attract in, like like if it's a job, act as if you have that job, because that's attracting in that energy. Okay, I'm going to get one more card. And we have ambitious. In a world where possibilities are endless, I can do anything I set my mind to. Power and ambition courses through my veins. When I intentionally reach towards my dreams will meet me with open arms. And that's just what I was talking about. It's like you're opening yourself up. You're changing your vibration. You're reaching toward the dream, and that's you changing your vibration. Like you're acting as if it's already existed. And so then that opens the energy up, which then changes, like I said, it's like the vibration of your energy. So, you know, so it's like we're realizing that the world is full of these endless possibilities, and that, you know, being in the energy of hope and being in the energy of, you know, happiness, joy, it's, you know, like seeing the good things in life, being grateful for, you know, an opportunity, like that kind of thing. That's really what helps to change our vibration, which then helps you to have, you know, a different mindset, we'll say. Okay, all right, so I'm going to leave the reading here. I do hope that these messages have helped you. And if it has, please, you know, comment and hit the like if you like this video, and subscribe if you haven't already. This is my first live, so I do plan on doing this again. And comment, because I'd love to hear from you. And I look forward to seeing you then. Take care and have a blessed night.